Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. Today is going to be another Chaos leak video. There is a lot to talk about, a lot has been leaked, and whilst we won't be going through all of it, there are a few units that I've wanted to talk about and discuss just because I like them and they look quite fun and they've had a bit of an update. Things like the Land Raider that we covered the other day have had quite a significant boost, and another classic staple marine vehicle that seems to have had a rather nice upgrade is the Vindicator siege tank. And the Vindicator still keeps its old 130 point price tag with an extra 10 points for the siege shield, which, to be honest, in my opinion, is almost a mandatory upgrade. So the Vindicator isn't the most expensive thing to add to your list, but it's always, even at that price point, felt a little bit underwhelming, I think, thanks to its random d6 shots, its random d6 damage, and the fact that its huge demolisher cannon, as scary as it looks, was only AP-3, so even power armored opponents got a small chance of surviving it. But now in the new Chaos Codex, that seems to have been at least somewhat remedied. And as you can see in the datasheet on your screen now, the Vindicator is now the proud owner of a much improved main gun. The siege cannon is now heavy D3+3 instead of D6, so straight away you get a lot more reliability from it. It makes your average shots 5 now instead of 3.5. But then on top of that change, it has also gone to AP-4, giving you that extra little boost of getting through armor. And yes, I know we live in an Armor of Contempt world, so against power armored marines and that kind of thing, this isn't going to feel like a big change really, but it definitely will help because it means that marines now won't be saving against your demolisher cannon on 5s, which they would have been if it hadn't been updated, and then against all the other armies in the game, this is just a flat buff, and it really will help you to get through the armor of enemies like the Eldar, the Tau, the Tyranids, the Necrons, anything else in the game that isn't a power armor army. This gun will feel a lot more effective against now. So all in all, and when you consider that the tank itself hasn't gone up in points, I do think that these changes are a pretty big win. The new profile of the weapon should on average go from doing around 3.6 damage to a toughness 7 3-up save Rhino chassis to a much healthier 6.4 now. So it's a good 3 extra damage compared to how it is currently. And I mean, yes, that's nothing amazing. It's not going to make the Vindicator a meta pick, I don't think. But it is a definite improvement and definitely adds some of that scare factor back to a tank, which by today's comparison looks a little bit comical. The Vindicator also got a very slight bump to its durability, and I mean obviously there is Armor of Contempt which immediately helps it quite a bit, but its toughness 8 3-up save profile with the siege shield means that now even against AP4 Melter you will be getting a 5-up save, which is really nice, and you can basically consider your Vindicator to have at worst a 5-up invulnerable against pretty much all the weapons in the game. But then on top of that, to make it just a little bit more long lasting as well, the tank has now also gained an extra wound, going up from 11 to 12. So again, it's nothing game changing. It's not going to mean the Vindicator is in every list ever now. It's not going to make the Vindicator a must take, I don't think. But it is a boost, and it is a free boost, so you can't really complain about it. I think in general, do these changes make the Vindicator amazing? No, it still has its issues. It still does suffer from random damage a lot, and a 140 point unit only doing 6 or 7 damage to an enemy tank is arguably quite bad, but it is without a doubt 100% better than it was before, and I do think that for its durability, its slightly more reliable damage output now, and the cost of only 140 points, will it be worth maybe bringing a couple for just 280 points to really anchor one side of the board and make your opponent have to think about those potential big damage guns going into their units in their lines, which may make them redeploy differently or maneuver differently and can give you an advantage in terms of going after some key objectives. And I do think that it may actually be worth considering that now, because these tanks do have a big damage ceiling, and whilst you may not see it all that often, they can potentially do 36 damage each, so they are a big threat potentially that your opponent will have to take note of and consider, and it may just make them be a bit more cagey about what they put down near them. So if you do want to anchor a side of your board or block a bit off the board that your opponent isn't going to want to go to, 2 of these for 280 points could be a pretty good way of doing it, and they will be a fairly durable way of doing it because your opponent is going to have to get through 24, toughness 8, basically 2-up save wounds with a -1 to incoming AP to chew through the both of them. So that is it for this video. I think the Vindicator does look a lot more fun now. It's a cool model anyway. I do always love bringing mine out from time to time. So I do think these changes are going to mean you see a few more of them on the table compared to now. But what do you think of these changes? Do you think they are enough to bring the Vindicator back to the battlefield, or were you hoping for a bit more to make them competitive again? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.